Salt is good, Jesus says. But if salt has lost its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is neither fit for the land nor for the dunghill, but men throw it out. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Now, we are a little confused by this today because it's hard for us to imagine salt losing its savor or salt losing its saltiness. Why? Because what we have in our salt shakers at home is salt. It's salt and it's pure, right? And it's not going to lose its savor. But the way that they got salt back in those days and in this region is that they would go down to the Dead Sea where the salinity of the water was high, and as the water evaporated, the salt deposits would remain. And as a result, that salt was not necessarily pure salt, but it was adulterated with other minerals and other things that were in there. And so it was entirely possible for you to have what looked like salt, but the saltiness had dissolved or had been lost, and that all that remained were the impurities. It looked like salt, but it no longer tasted like salt. So it was entirely possible for salt to lose its savor, and in that instance, it was good for absolutely nothing. Well, listen, folks, we do not want to be good-for-nothing disciples. We do not want to be disciples that have lost our saltiness. What is salt intended to do? Salt is intended to season, to purify, and to preserve. And we, as believers, are intended to bring saltiness to this world so that others can be made thirsty for the gospel of Jesus Christ. Amen? We are intended to be a purifying force in the world in which we are placed, and we are intended to preserve that which we are brought into contact with. But if we lose those things because our testimony is undermined, then we are no longer going to make people thirsty for Jesus. We are no longer going to be a purifying force, and we are no longer going to be a preserving force in our nation. The saltiness that is spoken of here is the Christian character that is present in the life of the one who truly follows Jesus Christ. It is the flavor of a disciple who looks like the one he is following. Paul put it this way in Galatians 2:10. I have been crucified with Christ, and it is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me.